Home bill, yeah. So it's been quite a journey with my mum, and I know that I had a lot of healing, a huge amount of healing to do on myself, not on my relationship. And so the inner child work is something that's very, it's something that's very special to me I think it is to everybody really, but it's the bit I love. So I want to hear what you got to say on this one, Abby, because it is, how to nurture that inner child. Because some people out there won't even know what the inner child is. So you just want to take us back a little bit, because you and I, we know the technical stuff and we deal with the mind and the subconscious and the hypnosis. So actually, let's just go back a bit further before. Sure. Let's just explain it, what you do and what hypnosis is and how you help people. Because there might be some people out there that really, I know some people are very skeptical of, they don't understand the mind, and hypnosis just freaks them out. They don't really know what it is, and so yeah. Let's just dive into that a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So, for you and I, we are mind workers. A lot of people don't know that our mind is split up into two distinct parts. We've got the conscious mind, or the unconscious or subconscious mind, as some people call it. So what happens is that the conscious mind, which feels like it runs 100% of the show, actually only makes up about 12% of our total mind power. I mean, you hear scientists all the time saying that, we only have quote-unquote access to 11 or 12% of our brains, and this is what they're talking about. They're talking about our logic brain, our frontal cortex. That's where our logic, our reason, analyzing, decision-making, and willpower is housed, is in our conscious mind, the part that we actually control. And then the unconscious mind makes about the other 88%, and that, scientists have agreed that it runs about 95% of our day is the unconscious mind, because that's where we house our associations. Now, associations are relationships that we have to the outside world. So, our relationship to money, our relationship to relationships, our relationship to love, to people, our belief systems and our value systems are housed in our unconscious mind, along with our automatic behaviors. So everything that we would want to have control over is kind of locked away behind the barrier in our unconscious mind. So the reason why I love what we do is because there's only so much change you can have with talk therapy or trying to do affirmations or trying to read books by yourself. The real work, the real change comes from when you can access the unconscious mind, which is very difficult to do. You have to be in a state of hypnosis in order to do that. Now, most people misunderstand what hypnosis is. You and I know hypnosis is any trance state. So you don't actually have to be unconscious. But anytime you're driving down the freeway and you miss your exit, that is a state of hypnosis. When you are watching a movie and you laugh, you cry, you get scared, that is a state of hypnosis. When you're falling in love, when you're in anxiety, when you're concentrating so hard that you don't hear someone who's calling your name, that's hypnosis. Right? So when you're in a state of hypnosis, we can plant suggestions into the unconscious mind. Now, it can sound a little creepy, but the thing that most people don't understand is that the suggestions are getting put in there anyway. Because we're in and out of the state of hypnosis, we're in and out of the trance state all day long. Just that most people are getting negative suggestions because people are watching the news first thing in the morning or last thing before they go to bed. They're, scrolling through all the terrible things that are happening on their newsfeed on Facebook or social media. Most people are bombarding themselves with negativity, and these are the suggestions that are getting planted deep into their unconscious mind. So what I do is I find, locate programs, limiting beliefs or emotions or mechanisms that are preventing people from getting where they want to go, and I rewire them. So everything is connected in the brain through neural pathways. The neural pathways support the passage of thought through the brain, and with hypnosis you can actually deconstruct those neural pathways, and you can construct new neural pathways so that information can travel through the brain still, obviously, but in a slightly different way. Because A lot of people don't know that the more you use a neural pathway, the more likely you're going to use a neural pathway. Neurologists joke that neurons that fire together wire together. So the more often, let's say that someone's trying to decrease negativity, the more often you allow the conscious thought to travel down a path of negativity, the stronger your path and likelihood that you're going to think in a negative way are going to be. But when you can redirect, which is possible, hard but possible with some tools, techniques, and definitely with hypnosis, neuro-linguistic programming, when you can redirect the information to travel down the path of positivity, the more you use that positive path, the stronger it becomes, and the less you use the negative path, the weaker that becomes, until one day, boom, it just disappears completely. You find that you are naturally a positive person. So that's kind of in a nutshell, like what I do and how I work with people.
It's amazing. I love the way you put that, and it is. I think it's one of the most incredible things, isn't it? You can actually rewire your brain. You can actually rewire the way you think. It's a bit like a muscle, isn't it? You've got to keep using it. People think that, some people think that, once you've done this stuff, well, that's it then. You don't do it. You got to keep doing it, because those neural pathways, as you say, they're either going to be strengthened or weakened. And, you got to keep at it. You got to keep going to the gym with those positive ones.
Exactly.
If that's how you want to, run the show. And I know for me that, in a lot of aspects, and I didn't even realise it at the time, I was in quite a negative space, but I didn't see it. I just didn't see it. I was in a lot of blame, a lot of negativity, with a lot of these emotions. It was amazing. I was on a radio show the other week with a lady who had suffered rape. She'd been through prostitution. She'd was involved in drug addiction. And a lot of these things that I had not experienced myself. But what we both experienced was the same level of shame, resentment. Yes. We both made such a connection. And it was the emotions that we connected on, not the event. And I think
exactly.
That was, but going back to the, I just brought that up then because, all this stuff that's going on in the mind, we've all got similar emotions going on in there, but from different things that have happened to us, past experiences and stuff. So how do you do that in a nutshell? I know that's what you do, Abi, our listeners out there. So what do you do to help people change those neural pathways?
Well, I think 1,000 different things, but all of them are related to hypnosis and NLP. So, you can do it the slow way. I call hypnosis the slow way because it probably takes 3 sessions of hypnosis to accomplish what 1 session of NLP can produce, but it's a little easier to swallow. And not so, NLP really shakes you up. It really can be very jarring. And just to kind of as an aside, people always ask me what the difference between hypnosis and NLP, and this is how I explain it. You're looking to redecorate your living room, okay? So with NLP, you hear a knock on the door, and the door barges open. The builders barge in, like 20 of them. Everybody starts destroying all of your stuff till it's smashed to smithereens. And then they pick everything up and they take it out. And then in the next few minutes, they bring everything back. And in like 5 minutes, they're boom, 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 boom. They're painting the walls. They're redecorating your living room. And boom, they're gone. And you're left with a new living room, which was your goal, right?
Wow.
But you're so breathless. And you're so exhausted, and you're so kind of shaken by the process that you have to take some time to really let it sink in. Whereas with hypnosis, you'll go to bed, and then someone will sneak in the middle of the night and change the carpet out, and then sneak out, and then you'll wake up and be like, is that carpet a new color? That's funny. I didn't notice that happening, but it seems like it's different. And then you go to bed the next night, and then they change the pictures on the walls, and then the next night there's a new sofa, and then you never really see it happening, but all of a sudden you turn around and your living room is completely redecorated, but you didn't feel it. You didn't feel like an aha moment or lightning striking. It's just that gently, all of a sudden, everything is different. And so that's why I like to use a combination of both, because sometimes the mind can be really stubborn. Sometimes you need to give it a really good shake to get that, to get that limiting belief out there and pop in the new one. But if I were to do only NLP, my clients are going to be like holding on for dear life. So I love to, and I'm super, I'm very maternal and nurturing. So that's just not the way that I roll. I love to bring that comfort, and so with visualizations and with suggestions, gently recreating those neural pathways. And it's funny the way that neural pathways are created, because they're not necessarily created all in one go. It's almost like how I imagine it. It's like you're creating the yellow brick road, and you're putting a pavestone down there, and a pavestone down there, and then one here, and one here, and one here. And then all of a sudden you do just the right thing, and boom, the neural pathway fires. Change. It could take 1 session, it could take 3 sessions, it could take 12 sessions. The brain is so mysterious that you just don't know when it's going to happen, and that's kind of how it happens. Whereas with NLP, you know it's going to be today, but it's also, it might not be very pleasant to go through the experience.
Well, some people out there might be a little bit skeptical about the NLP. Have you got something you can share with us quickly now?
Oh, sure. So.
Great.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, do you mean like an exercise, a process?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Where they can,
absolutely. Yeah. So let's go ahead. Let's work on a different emotion. Since we already came up with the tool for anger, let's work on an emotion for sadness. Okay, so please don't do this if you're driving. But if you're not driving, then go ahead and close your eyes. And I want you to ask your mind to provide you with an image that for you represents sadness. And so, Louise, feel free to do this right now if you like. Okay, and then I want you to notice if it's large or small, color, black and white, moving or still, framed or unframed, bright or dim, and if there's a sound associated with it. If there is a sound associated with it, and if your image changes, don't even sweat it, just go with it. There's a sound associated with it. I want you to imagine that you're turning the volume all the way down. Make it really silent. Good. Now what you're going to do, if it was bright, you're going to make it dim. If it was dim, make it bright. But make it so dim that you can barely see it, or make it so bright that you can barely look at it. Okay, and then if it's framed, remove the frame. If it's unframed, put a frame around it, like a mirror or a picture or a TV. If it was moving, freeze it in its tracks. If it was frozen, make it move. You can have the frame bounce on the corners, that's totally fine. Or maybe spinning, or maybe the image within the frame is moving. And if it was color, allow all the color to drain right out of it, almost as if you're turning the aperture all the way down, and it just becomes black and white. And if it was black and white, go ahead and give it a garish color, but all the same color, maybe neon pink or bright blue or something like that. And now make it really, really tiny. Very, very tiny, the size of a postage stamp, all the way tiny, very, very small. And then send it away from you. Just send it away, just push it through the walls. And then push it over the town or the city or the village, just put over the hills, over the mountains, send it out to the sea. Send it even out to space, further and further into the distance, further and further into the distance, and further and further, further and further until it just disappears. Boom, it's gone.
I love that.
And then once that happens, take a deep breath, clear the screen, and there you go. So the way that